Well, let's take our first look at the new Kindle Voyage. This is it on the right. On the left is the last year's Paperwhite. You see the Paperwhite is just a little bit taller, a little bit wider, and it weighs an extra ounce. That's the only obvious difference on the front. Now the back side is a different matter, and we'll get to that right now. Okay, now we'll take a closer look just at the new Voyage. When you look at the front, you will pretty quickly see that there are these two lines about 1.5 inches long. And what these do, these are actually pressure switches. You can't feel them. They sense your pressure. These lines advance the page, and these two little dots up here will take the page back one. Another obvious difference is, unlike the earlier Kindles, the bezel is smooth with the glass surface. You rub your finger over it. There's no bump up here like there was on the Paperwhite that could trap dust and sand, whatever like that. So that's a pretty cool new feature. It looks very much like Amazon's tablets do, where they have flush bezels with the surface. Also, I'm told this is a specially treated glass surface, whereas I don't believe the earlier Kindles had that kind of a surface on them. So let's flip it over to the back. One thing you'll notice real quick, the USB charging port is still on the bottom, but the power switch is not. They've moved it up here to the upper right. It's about 1 inch below the top and 1/4 inch in. So it doesn't take you long to get your fingers used to it. Although if you have it in a case with a magnetic that activates the auto wake feature, you won't need to touch the power switch, and I'll go over that a little later. So, and this is also, I'm told this is a magnesium case. In any case, the whole thing is very light. I'm not sure I can tell the difference from the Paperwhite, but it is 1 ounce less, so that's definitely an improvement if you like to hand hold your reader. So we'll take a little closer look at the software here in just a minute. Okay, we're looking at the home page of my Voyage. As you see, I've already downloaded some of my books from the Amazon cloud. And down below on the bottom half of the screen, you see what are called special offers, and you'll see those until you actually get into your book. And once you start reading your book, they go away. I did take the deal with the special offers. I've been doing that with the last few Kindles and tablets that I've bought. And really, after a couple of days, you get so used to it, you don't even notice it. You just swipe it off the lock screen and they're gone. And they're not intrusive when you're reading at all. So let's look at the top here. First of all, let's look at the menus. And the menus, when I'm on the home screen, will be different from the menus when I'm actually reading. So let's look at the home screen menus first. You see they have a number of things that are related to the software, but right now I'm going to go first to the settings, because these are things that you want to do right up front before you get started reading. We're going to go here to device options first, and we're going to hit screen light. What this is, when the automatic adjustment of the illumination takes place, if you don't like it to change so fast, you can turn the night light on, because that's the way your eyes adjust. They don't adjust immediately to changes in light. They take a few seconds, and that's what the night light does. I'm going to play around with this and see which way I like it, but for right now I've turned it on. Now let's go back to another setting. Reading options. There are a number of things on here that you can set, including social networks. They're talking about Facebook, Twitter, and Goodreads, if that's a social network. But let's go to the PagePress first. You see, PagePress I've got on now. That means it works with these two pressure bars and the pressure dot on the sides. But if you're like me and you really just like to swipe and you don't want to try to learn something else, then you can turn that off. And I believe that's what I'm going to do. Turn it off. Okay. That's pretty much the simplest things you're going to be doing on this screen. And now we'll go into a book and we'll look at what you'll be doing while you're actually reading to make the reading more pleasurable. All right, let's get into one of my books and we'll see the kind of things that you can do once you start reading. I'm going to take one of the books that I've already downloaded from the cloud and here we are. I've got it set to a kind of one of the smaller fonts. But when we go up here, first of all is the light bulb. This is almost identical to the menu that you had in the Paperwhite, with one addition. That's the auto brightness. I've got it checked on. I'm definitely wanting to try that. I've already played around a little bit with it, and it seems like it works pretty effectively. But if you don't like the light, the illumination level that it sets, you can always come up here and just adjust it manually yourself. And somewhere around a 14 or 15 is probably what I like here. And then just touch anywhere off of it and it goes away. The other thing that you're going to be doing until you find what you like is the fonts. You see there are, let's see, 9 different, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I'm sorry, 8 different font sizes, and there's 6 different fonts. And I believe these fonts are the same ones you had in the Paperwhite. And then, of course, you can adjust line spacing and margins too, but I usually leave those at the default. So, as you see right now, I've turned the pressure switches off. You see they don't work. I'm swiping, and this is the way I like to do it. I can do it one-handed, just use my thumb when I'm hand holding it, and I just prefer to do it that way. But I'll definitely want to try the pressure switches and see if they work for me, but right now I think I still prefer swiping. So, and let's see, we didn't play with the fonts, but let's go up to the biggest font. You see you only get a few words on a page, and if I go to the smallest font, let me show you what that looks like. The amazing thing about this is, as tiny as that font is, it's sharp. I actually used a magnifying glass to look in it, and I could not see the pixelation. I mean, this is really sharp. This additional resolution that you have on the screen is really remarkable. So I'm going to set that back to the second font is the one that I usually like. And that's just about right. And let's go back to the home screen, and I'm going to come back with a couple of more comments, and that'll wrap it up. Thank you. Okay, well, I hope between the video and my written review that I've covered most of the major things, but feel free to ask me any questions if you like down in the comments section. One more thing, I don't have a case for this yet, but I do always put my Kindles in a case. Just to give you an idea. In my Paperwhite, I'm using the official Amazon Kindle case, and it works very well. But let me give you one tip before you order a case. The Voyage, like the Paperwhite, has a magnetic switch on it that turns it, it turns the screen on and off. And if you get one of these kind of cases, when you close the case, it'll put it to sleep. When you open the case, it'll wake it up. This saves you from ever having to touch the power button unless you really need to just shut it down completely. And let me just give you an idea. I don't have a case with me right now because I've ordered one, but it's not here yet. But I've got a little magnet here, and watch what happens. By the way, the magnetic switch is in the bottom here. In the past, it's been on the side, but they put it on the bottom here. You see when I put the magnet there, shuts it down, take it away. It's just like I close the case and then open the case. So that's my tip. Whatever kind of cover or case you order, make sure that it has that switch in it, because they did put the auto wake feature in the Voyage, and it's a very nice feature. I promise you, you will not regret getting a cover that has that. So wrap it up here. In my written review, I gave my opinions on whether it was worth the $199 to upgrade whatever you have now to the Voyage. You'll have to make up your own mind about that. Obviously, my mind was made up to try it. I'm very impressed with it. I'll definitely be using it. One of the nieces and nephews will probably get my old Paperwhite, but I'm going to enjoy this one, I think. Thank you very much for watching.